Hey guys, what's up? I'm on here to do a quick video about a question that I always get from people about whether or not you should be investing in multifamily properties for equity or for cash flow. I get this question all the time. As a matter of fact, I was at the Dwell conference in Los Angeles, and I was at like a VIP dinner, and we were talking with some of the people at the table, and they were even saying how in Los Angeles you can't even like really invest for cash flow, that basically you're just investing in equity because the property is like going up in value like 30%, 20% per year. And to me, that's crazy. That's like unheard of. Like, personally, I never in a million years would only be investing for um, equity. Like, I have to be getting cash flow. If I'm not getting cash flow, it is not a good investment for me, for my investment strategy. So, if a person is asking me personally, am I going to invest for equity or cash flow? I'm investing for cash flow. And of course, I'm just assuming equity in the property is going to come slowly but surely, because history has shown that over time, property values increase. But what if you buy that property, let's say at a downturn in the market, like right after you buy it, like '07, 2007, 2008, and you're not getting any equity? As a matter of fact, you may have lost equity. Well, if you're someone who's investing for cash flow, you're not really worried about it, because you know that you have 10 units that you're renting out for $800 a month. So you're making $8,000 a month, less your expenses. You know, you might be making with expenses, you might be netting, maybe let's I'm just making up an example, 3,000 a month. But you know that's 3,000 a month in your pocket, regardless if the market has a downturn or upturn, because a renter is gonna rent. As a matter of fact, with the markets being so messy in 2007, 2008, it kind of increased the rental rates. So your cash flow should even go up a bit if the markets are doing bad. But when you're somebody who's only investing for equity, you almost are playing a time in the market type of game, to me. Now, maybe there's some people who know how to just strictly invest for equity, and that's all they do, that's what they specialize in. But me personally, I'm investing for cash flow, point blank, period. And I think that that is the best strategy, the strongest strategy for me. And then I figure my property is going to increase in value over time anyway, but that's not what I'm banking on, because I basically have to sell the property in order to realize that money anyway. So it's not real money until you make that money. So if you're investing for equity and you buy a place for 100,000 and you're like, yeah, but in 10 years I'm gonna be able to sell it for a million, it's not worth a million until somebody's willing to pay a million for it. So if you buy it today for 100,000 and you let 10 years go by, and just by happenstance it's a downturn in the market at that 10-year point, or something happens and it's still only worth 100, or maybe now worth 90, I mean, which this is a real extreme example, but you know, I'm just trying to give examples. Or it's only worth 120, you've waited 10 years for $20,000, which you could have made that in your first 2 years in cash flow. So I don't know, to me it doesn't make sense to me. But you know, it's some people who do that, and I guess that's what they specialize in. But to me, that whole concept is crazy. That is like betting on the unknown, because you would have to be able to either time the market, which nobody can do in any market. It doesn't matter if you're talking about real estate, stocks, whatever. No one can time the market, so you can't bank on that. And you would also be almost creating an expense for yourself, like the example I gave about the people at the Dwell conference in California. They told me that usually you're coming out of your pocket $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, which is crazy to me. But they were like, yeah, but we're making so much in equity. But that equity is not real until you sell that property and you get cash money. Like, they're telling you it increased by 30% or 20% or whatever, 10%, but that's not realized until you sell the property. So who's to say you put it on the market and you're really even gonna get that equity? So I don't know. It's just a lot of nuances in that. that I just stay. I don't want to bet on that. Now, cash flow I can bet on because I know at the end of the day you got to pay your rent or you will be evicted and somebody else will be there paying their rent. But equity, no. So that's how I feel on should I invest for cash flow or invest for equity. That's Devaney's opinion. All right, I'll talk to you later.